Welcome, 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 everyone. This is the very first episode of Hello SportsTech Live. So as it is the first one, I think we have to explain what we're doing here, right, Ron?
Absolutely, Ben. Go for it.
Cool. So this is a new format, obviously. And we are always aiming to explain the world of sports and technology to everyone. And this is what we're still doing. We are digging into some interesting stuff that we came across recently. And we are gonna walk you through that. And actually, we're gonna do that in a short and crisp format that Ron is gonna talk to us about.
Yeah, welcome to all the people who are live on this channel, which doesn't look like too many right now, but we'll get there. Hey guys, thanks for streaming in. So this is what the format of the show is about. Yeah, as Ben said, it's just about providing context to all the news that we are privy to, because Ben and I see a lot of information about what's happening in the world of sports tech. So it's about bringing that to you. So here's how do we do it. We bring you 5 top stories that have happened in the last week, give or take. And we'll give you a little bit of context. So what happened exactly, why that happened, and what that means. So we do a countdown from 5 to 1. We spend a bit of time discussing our top story for the day. Then we will show you what product that we liked or that we did a review video. Usually one of us is does a product review on our channel. If you're a subscriber, you'd know about that too. We'll walk you through what that video is, and there's an interesting giveaway. So please stay tuned for that. And lastly, we'll always throw in one wild one for the week. Something that we like that happened that we want to discuss, and that's usually where Ben and I disagree. But let's see what happens in this week's episode. That's what it is. That's what we do.
Yeah, looking forward. It's going to be fun. I would say let's jump right in, and you can already tell we have prepared some interesting visuals here. So this is
Ben's had a lot of fun making all these slides and the transitions and the videos and the colors, and it's clearly there's been time super well spent.
Yeah, it's probably gonna go wrong at some point. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Let's come right to it. Let me start with news number 5. I need a little bit of time to bring it up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, all good. Take your time, Ben. We're building up to this. There's a moment of anticipation. Good things come to those who wait. See me vamping here, going freestyle. I'm giving you time as much as you need. There we go.
Okay, happy that you can stop now. Okay, I'm gonna put you to the background and bring you back on stage once it's your turn again. So, ladies and gentlemen, news number 5 is that I think around 10 days ago, the so-called fan-controlled football league went live or had the kickoff. I think we were talking to the founder like almost 2 years ago. So this thing has been in the making for quite a while. So go check out our podcast to see what the guy was saying about 2 years ago. But the main thing is, obviously, the name says it, it's a fan-controlled football league. So there seems to be some influence from the fan side. And I'm going to quickly play this video for you so that you get an impression. And I'm going to mention the most important things. So here we go. So it is played on a bit smaller football field, as you can see. And the fan angle actually means that you on your smartphone have an influence on the game. And that can be multiple things. It starts with when you draft the players. It continues with who starts the game. Then you can actually vote on the actual plays during the game. So you have a lot of influence, and as you can see on the screen, the better you are, so the better choices you make, the higher you are in a virtual leaderboard, which I find super interesting. And the whole thing is streamed on Twitch. They have lined up amazing partners already, and yeah, they see themselves, let's say, as an alternative to the NFL, obviously. And also, I think it's going to be a good opportunity for some of the players who don't play NFL to show themselves, to maybe show that they are still in shape or they should have been drafted or something like this. And as you can see on the screen, there are a bunch of new interesting teams and players involved. So very interesting initiative that we, of course, wanted to mention here. So yeah, go on the Twitch channel, go to the Fan Control Football League website, and there you find all the relevant information. That is news number 5. Let me bring back Ron to the stage, who is gonna talk about the next topic, actually.
Yeah, so, I mean, FCFL is a cool one. I like it. It's a feeder league for the NFL, as you say. Let's see how that one goes. On to the next story, Ben. Let's go.
Cool. All right. Let me bring that up. Go for it.
All right, next story up front is we have is something that the Golden State Warriors did, right? They signed an agreement with a company called LiveLike for their game mode second screen fan experience app, right? So basically, of course, everybody knows what second screen is about now. It's while you're playing your live game or watching your live game, you have some interaction, usually around um, chats or polls or something of that nature to get fans more engaged. I believe they'll have some trivia questions and cheer meters now, which have become super common during COVID times. Now, the Warriors are a bit of a leader in this front. I think they've done something like this before because they did something around the draft room previously. So they've been looking to find different ways to engage with fans. And also, they are the first team to launch something like this with LiveLike. Now, what exactly is LiveLike? LiveLike is a company that basically handles more on the fan experience side. So creating different products where you can create highly engaged fans. They basically tell sports team that you know who your fans are. So they create white label solutions for sports teams, leagues, all of that to drive engagement. How they do this, they have a couple of different products. They have these widgets which sit on live streams, which are super interesting, which can do anything from betting odds to Twitter feeds to just player statistics, whole bunch of stuff like that. So it's a very cool company who, by the way, LiveLike VR just got acquired as part of COSM Group. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I'm not sure if it's an abbreviation or not, but it's a company that is formed who are proclaiming to be digital leaders in the immersive experience space. So having all these large screens that you can interact with while you're doing other things on your mobile devices and watching live games to have a genuinely mixed immersive experience. That's what this company is about. That's where LiveLike is headed as well. I think it's an interesting story, Ben. I think it's cool to see what the Warriors are doing, and it's cool to see them take the lead at the first sports team. Remember, not just for NBA team, and hopefully more will follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a second screen has been a buzzword for quite a while now, and yeah, we're waiting for a team to properly use it. But I think time is ripe, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. I am gonna move on to topic number 3. So there is a company called Clear. They call themselves a secure identity company, and they have raised an investment round of $100 million US. So what is Clear? And you already see that the terminal in the picture on their website. So what they do is they take your biomarkers or your biometric identifiers, such as it says your irises. So they look into your eyes and your fingerprints. And as they say, these distinct characteristics are the most accurate forms of IDs. And out of this, they create actually, a code that is encrypted. So nobody should, of course, steal your identity. And then, they use your irises and your fingerprints so that you can check into, for example, a gate at the airport. But I mean, we are in sports here, so I guess you know what is coming. So in the future, when you finally, as a fan, can go back to a stadium, you can identify yourself on these terminals with your irises and your fingerprints. And let me quickly go to their sports section on the website. So how does it work? You can see it here. You need to find a special entrance, a clear entrance where you have an ambassador helping you if you need help. You just go to this terminal, you get scanned, and you can go into the stadium. And actually, as you see there with this yummy looking pretzel and some sort of shake, you can actually also order your food and your beverages in the stadium in the best case. And this is not something that is happening in the future, because as you can see, they have already a very impressive portfolio of partners. And actually they are the official biometric identity and ticketing partner of the Major League Baseball. That's a mouthful. But yeah, idea is great. I can totally see this happening. But there's one other interesting thing why they also probably got so much of the investment. It is that they also are working on a so-called health pass. And as the name says, it is also connected to the healthy side of things, which is especially the information whether or not you have received some sort of vaccination, especially against COVID, right? So whenever you check into a stadium or into a gate at an airport, just by identifying yourself, you can already prove that you have received a certain amount of or type of vaccination. So no more questions to be answered. That is clear. That is a 100 million investment, and I'm sure we're gonna come across one of their devices in the very near future. Ron, what is your take on it?
Actually, first thing, what was that official partner of what? It's official. Say that again.
You're going to bring me in trouble again. I have to look it up. Wait a sec. It is the official biometric identity and ticketing partner of Major League Baseball.
Love it. If there is ever something that I want my company to have its branding on, it is that tag. No, listen. I mean, quickly, it's super important. This is exactly what the future is going to be for any fan returning to a stadium. Having the safety and security, the confidence to do it is only with all these measures in place. So, I think it's very cool to see. I think Claire's doing a great job on that front.
Cool, and I am gonna take the next one as well. So you are back to the backstage. So there is a company called Therabody, and they have received an investment by over 100 professional athletes. I think I've never read anything like this before, over 100. And amongst them are like not so well-known players like Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Aaron Rodgers. Also on the list, I think, is Rihanna, Justin Timberlake, Kevin De Bruyne, and a bunch of other guys. So it sounds a bit like the who is who of international sports and also entertainment. But yeah, what is Therabody, you might ask? They're especially known for a device that you can see here that is called Theragun. And those Theragun devices are actually matching a trend that we are observing, which is the trend of recovery, the business of recovery. So more and more professional athletes, but also amateur players, take good care of their bodies, more professional than they might have done before. And a very successful device in that realm is this Theragun. And as you can see here, they have a bunch of interesting ambassadors. They are the official sponsor of Real Madrid. So this is not a small company anymore. Yeah, this is the Theragun device, and I think it's a very smart way to involve so many athletes as users, as ambassadors, and as investors. So how could you not use this device, I'm asking. This is news number 2. Rod, what do you think?
I mean, it's a big thing, right? I mean, they've got how many million Twitter followers, I'm sure, in an instant, just by having all these celebrities sign up for their platform. It takes one tweet from each of them and boom, suddenly you've got the visibility. I think that's the biggest power of the athlete investor / celebrity investor, and they know this as well. I mean, when they come in, they're not just putting in equity for cash, they're putting in equity for all the marketing and all that they bring as well. The product itself is super cool. Can't wait to try it out. Maybe we should get that as a review, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this product.
Definitely. It looks pretty badass as well. I'm sure we can shoot some good pictures there. But what I was wondering is how much legal work do you have to do to get over 100 athletes signed on such a deal? I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That PR manager is having a crazy time. Like, first of all, the agents and everybody else that's involved. But now that it's out there in public and getting all of these guys, that must have been quite a task. So good job, Therabody. If nothing else, just to close this round, which must have been quite a piece of work. All right, Ben, on to it. Our top story for the week. Shall we go?
That is yours. Go for it.
All right. Now, the tech savvy amongst you might have already been tracking this news of all the people that are on the stream right now. But even if you catch later, but this has been an interesting story that's been building to. A couple of days ago, there was an article in a report rather in The Information, if you know that website, which talked about Facebook secretly building a smartwatch or entering the smartwatch game. Now, this is a really interesting story for a couple of reasons. First of all, the article broke in The Information and now has been carried by pretty much every major publication, including The Verge. So I think that seems pretty legit. The information comes from inside sources. Facebook hasn't made an official announcement yet. We should clarify that. But let's move past that. Why this is important. Mark Zuckerberg has been heard saying multiple times that he wanted to be part of the next biggest shift in device computing after the phone, and he wanted Facebook to be part of that shift. And he believes, like many others, that the smartwatch is going to be it. Well, I don't have a smartwatch; I have a Fitbit tracker, but fitness is on your wrist. I think that's the big thing. What your mobile device has been for communication and discovery and access to the internet, your wristband, it seems like, is going to be for fitness and one specific part of communication, that is messaging. And Facebook wants to really hone in that. The product is going to be built on the Google OS, the Wear OS, which hasn't been particularly popular, hasn't been successful, but it seems like Facebook is going to launch with it and then build their own OS over time. Um, Man, this is coming hot in the news after Amazon last year launched Halo, their smart wearable platform. It's not a smart watch, but again, a wrist form or something that you wrap around your wrist, which is a wrist, which is going to be a fitness device. We have heard Apple come out in a big way on fitness. Tim Cook released, and there was an article on him talking about fitness being the device, or I think he talked about it as fitness being the legacy of Apple, this company that has given us basically the smartphone in its current form. He believes that Apple's legacy over the next coming years will be for its fitness and the change that it brought in the health and fitness industry, which is such an interesting statement for him to make as well. Apple currently owns 51% of that market. Ben, jump back in. Tell me what you think, because this is, I think, pretty big news. Would you buy a Facebook smartwatch?
No, I have a good one already.
He has an Apple, by the way.
But actually, that's actually the key word here, because I want to bring in another aspect of the story, which obviously involves Apple and which also involves timing. Because last week when we had episode 0, which was the test run session, and shout out to our long-term friend Alex Zorida, who was one of our very first how you say, watchers, people in the audience. He also mentioned this story to me, by the way. And so the last week, what did we mention? We mentioned that Apple is working on a VR device that will ultimately probably lead to a mass market AR device, probably glasses. And the funny thing is that, Facebook is, with Oculus, is in the VR game for quite a while, right? And now Apple announcing that they're gonna go into VR and AR, maybe that tickled them a little bit or pushed them a little bit. And now, like a week later, there is this rumor coming out that Facebook is working on a smartwatch, something that Apple is successfully doing for quite a while. All in a big context there is this big debate or feud, going on between Apple and Facebook for a while now over those data privacy concerns. So for me, it all seems like this back and forth and those two giants fighting against each other. That it makes sense for a data giant like Facebook to go into this topic as well. It is obvious, but I enjoy the timing and the back and forth in this story.
Yeah, fair point. It's interesting. Like I said, I think Facebook was pretty clear that they had only two OSs that they could actually run this device on. It was either going to be Google's Android Wear OS or Apple's, and it was pretty clear that they were going to go with Google. They're going to use the open source platform and eventually build off that. We've already seen Samsung, Huawei all start with Wear OS and then transition out of it. It's going to be interesting to see whether this makes a dent or not. But rest be assured, I think the mega trend is that fitness is going to be on your wrist. Whatever device you're wearing is going to be, the big companies are certainly projecting that this is going to be the center of your fitness universe. Fitbit has already announced that they're going to do oxygen sensors and I think lactose tolerance through their new age devices. So everything's getting packed in your wrist. Better get a good one.
Yep. So this is the top 5 for this week. Kind of fast. 20 minutes in, we got maximum 10 minutes if we keep our plan for the other stuff that we have here. So why don't we talk a little bit about our YouTube channel and the review video that we published last week. And you're gonna see Mr. Malhotra again.
Yeah, that was me reviewing a company called Footbar. Actually, we did that last week. And Ben also, I believe, published another video just today. So check out our YouTube review channel, which is on. If you're watching this on YouTube, you already see it. But basically what we do is we review products, cool products from the world of tech. This product is basically a football tracker, as it says on the screen, which gathers a whole bunch of your data. It syncs to your mobile device, and then it creates, as you play your game of football, you just strap it onto your shin, and it's gathering like your passes, your dribbles, your runs, all of this cool data, exactly as you can see on the interface over there. The most interesting thing is the output that it creates. And this FIFA style card is a mega trend. We've talked about this in our Football Tech report. We've talked about this on our other content platforms. This FIFA style card that you as a user can then share with other people across different platforms, and then also track your own performance over time. It helps with scouting. It helps with social sharing, building a following for each footballer, all that good stuff. I think that is where the true power of this particular app, Footbar, was very cool. And interestingly enough, nice way to plug Footbar, we're also doing a giveaway of the product. To know how we're doing this giveaway, you have to watch that video and also go to our Instagram channel. Do both those things, and you could be in the running to get a free Footbar device for you and a friend, maybe, shipped to you. Ben, did you try the Footbar app? I don't know if you did.
No, I didn't.
No, you did. But it was fun. I think you've tried a couple of other ones. We did Humanox together, I remember, a few weeks ago. We've got a bunch of review videos on our channel. But Footbar is the first one they're doing a giveaway for. So all the people that are watching the stream live, the millions and millions, go to our YouTube video for Footbar and check out that giveaway as well.
Absolutely. Cool. And down there is our Instagram handle. Those visuals, they just work, you know?
Yeah. Don't miss the colors as well. We did discuss for a while that background that you see, the gradient, what shade of gradient, how the flow of the gradient was. Excellent aesthetic.
No coincidence, my friends. No coincidence.
All right.
And now we're coming to the part of the show that I always look forward to. I mean, always, we just did one test run, but I already know that I'm looking forward to this. We are coming up with a +1, something that is a bit weird, odd, funny, interesting, something where we're like, what? Wait a minute. So last week we were talking about Nike's hands-free shoe, where Ron said that he wouldn't buy it, and I'm sure that we will see it on the streets of Berlin. But we have another interesting finding in this week, and it is this news. I mean, you can read it, but let me say it again. Okay, or coming from a different perspective. I mean, you probably know the HawkEye system has been used in multiple sports and in tennis. I mean, the Australian Open are running these days. It's used for identifying whether a ball was out or not, right? Pretty sophisticated system, and they will, I think they already replaced the referees entirely for these kind of decisions at the Australian Open at least. But what is discussed now, believe it or not, that instead of somebody shouting out when a ball is out, that actually some sponsor's name will be mentioned. It's not out anymore. It's, for example, as they say, Rolex, which could be a bit annoying. And Ron and I had a little, I don't know, I wouldn't say challenge, but we were like, okay, we have to come up with something funny, with something odd. So both of us were thinking about interesting sponsors that could either, I don't know, mess this up or use this as a big opportunity. I prepared 3, Ron. I don't know, did you come up with something?
I came up with a couple. Just to provide context to the story for one quick second before we jump into the fun part. So the US Open already did this last year. They had the HawkEye system implemented, but they didn't do it for their center and court number 1. So they didn't do it on the biggest courts with semifinals and finals played. Australian Open has gone, of course, all out. One of the reasons they're doing this is also because of COVID. They're saying that having less umpires on the court, it's friendlier to reduce COVID transmission chances. Wimbledon has also taken this up very seriously, so we're likely going to see this system across the Grand Slams, on all the Grand Slams, on all the matches, including the final. There have been some disputes with players and stuff, but most of them love it. That being said, so this system is here to stay, and the Grand Slams will probably remain pure. But some tennis event, for sure, somewhere, and I have a feeling it's going to be US. I don't know for sure, but it's probably going to be there. Is going to do this thing. I can see it totally that they're going to do some sponsors. Okay, so Ben, what is your first shout?
Okay, I'm going to go with a simple one. What would be interesting? The US brand Champion. Imagine.
Okay. Champion.
Yeah. So I mean, you're actually not a champion because the ball is out, but then it champion. Champion. Okay,
There's actually you don't know this, but there's a song sung by a professional cricketer who plays for the West Indies, Dwayne Bravo, which goes champion, like it's proper West Indian and the reggaeton and this that. Yeah, you could just do champion. Yeah,
maybe.
Michael Jordan Obama's a champion. Okay, so you got champion. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you one. I was thinking, what if it could be like a chant that even the crowd could get on? So every time the ball went out, they would also say, "Go, Daddy." So, like, I mean, there are also different levels you could do it. So you could do "Go, Daddy," or you could go Daddy," and like this. So the crowd, so you could say "Go, Daddy," or like whatever. You could have fun with a few different directions in that one, I think.
For the men's tournament, I could see this. Yeah, women, not so sure.
Maybe okay, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe something that would potentially disturb the players a little bit would be let's say go a little bit more into, let's say, the dating and what might follow dating area. So I mean, Bumble is sponsoring one of the NBA teams. So imagine somebody the ball is hit out and it's like Bumble, or let's say like Durex or someone, right? Like Durex. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that players would be too excited there, right?
Or maybe they would get very excited. Who knows? Okay. My next one. I'm going to go with. I thought of a 2-word thing. So what if you had a brand where based on either the side line out or the full line out had different words. So if it went out full, you could go Dunkin', and if it went out on the side, you go Donuts, and you go Dunkin' and Donuts. So imagine while you're watching the game, suddenly you're getting hungry. I think that's pretty good. Dunkin'.
You are so 2018 when Dunkin' Donut did the rebranding because they only call themselves Dunkin' anymore.
Come on, but you got to get donuts in there. Otherwise, how do people like? It's part of.
And what is next? The Facebook, or what comes next?
Well, no, actually, that would be lame. But there's an article. Dunkin' Donuts is a thing. Come on, you got to get donuts in there.
Facebook in 2004. That's why the Facebook. But
I know. But like, there is an article. You can't scream dirt. We see donuts now. Donuts.
Okay, got one last one. We got one last one. Okay. We go to the energy drink area, and I would go for Monster.
Monster. Yeah. Okay.
Monster.
Well, that would be scary. I can imagine like some. What if they could do? Yeah, I'm totally seeing like the Nickelodeon of the green slime and all. So every time Monster comes, you actually see something come up from the sidelines and stuff like that. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
All right. That's our 5 stupid.
You're done?
Responses. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm good.
It was the low
5 minutes of this. Yeah, that's our own 5.
Great. We are at the end of our very first show. Pretty much stayed within the half an hour time frame and wasted the last 5 minutes on bad jokes on potential sponsors.
Dick's Sporting Goods. We have an audience member who shouted Dick's Sporting Goods. I like it. Brianna. I want to say audience member, but yeah, good one. Thanks, Brianna.
Wonderful. We are done for episode 1. This is gonna happen every week from now on every Thursday. I think it's a good time to do this. 6 p.m. Berlin time, noon New York City time, and the rest you have to calculate for yourself. We're also gonna upload this on our YouTube channel, so you can watch some of the stuff on demand. But of course, while you are here live, you can also use the chat function, ask us questions, and all the cool things, I would say, and get informed first, because I'm not sure when we will upload this. Anything left to say, Mr. M?
Nothing. That's it. That's episode 1 done. See you next week.
Sweet. Take care. Have a good evening.